success criteria for Pass the Energy, and we're going to go through, since it's the end of our workshop, and put our date on the comfortable level that we have right now. So let's look at our first I can statement. It says, I can recognize that all plants and animals, including humans, need the basic necessities of air, water, food, and space. And I want you to put the date on how comfortable you are with that right now. If you are not comfortable, somewhat comfortable, very comfortable, or you can teach a friend about it. Well, that's good. So then you can put it underneath number 4. All right, let's look at our second I can statement. I can describe and explain how energy is transferred from the sun through a food chain. Where are you now with that? Let's do the third one. I can explain that animals obtain energy from the plants and animals they eat. Make sure you're putting where you have grown to. And our fourth one is I can explain that plants make their own food using carbon dioxide, water, and energy from the sun. Once you've finished that, I want you to look down at your plan for success on here. What was your plan? Think about it, and then kind of jot down if you feel like you met that in this workshop. Go ahead and reflect on it and write a quick response to yourself. Only you can answer it, because it was your plan. Like how Jakira and Javon are quickly writing down their response. Shai's already responded. Thank you. All right, finish that up. All right, finish your thought and pencils down. It was just a quick response. You are going to now help me remember what some of our resources were so we can use them in our final reflection, because that's what we're doing today is our final reflection. So, what were some of our resources in this workshop? Javon?
Our vocabulary, the food.
Well, our vocabulary is something we can use in our final reflection, yes. Remember, we need to be working on citing our resources, Amarion.
The notes in my videos.
So our video notes.
Right there.
You don't need to write this. I'm going to leave it up for your reflection time. Video notes. Our I can statements are a resource we can use because we've got our reflections under them. Sure. What about our slide? Is that a resource?
Yeah.
What other things do we use to gather our information from in this workshop? We used some videos, we used the slide, we used our Fusion textbook. Amarion? Okay. You forgot?
Digital lesson.
Our digital lesson. Maya? The food chain game. Shy?
The study jam.
The study jams video. So this is a good resource list to kind of use to help us write our final reflections. Remember last time, right before we did our final reflection, we shared out Shy's. Today I want to show you Whitney's really quickly so you can kind of see how she used, her resources to help her to write this. Alright, so the last one we just did was seasonal changes. So in her final reflection, she said, in the Mother Nature clip, that was one of her resources, the video clip, right? And she talked about what she learned from it, and she highlighted her vocabulary words. Those vocab words help us to remember things also, right? Then she said, in my Fusion Digital lesson, another resource, and then she told us what she learned. Then she said, in my Fusion textbook I learned, and she told us about it. Notice how she's using vocab in each of those sections. And then finally she said in the Journey North website, which was one of our other resources last one. So that was hers. When you do your reflection, maybe you could model it after how Shy and Whitney have done theirs by using their resources and vocabulary to help them remember what they learned in this workshop. Remember, the vocabulary is on the back wall, and it's also in your Slack. You're going to be reflecting today, so we're going to go back to our seats and get started on that. Capiche? All right. You may quietly stand up and go back to your seats. Thank you, Javon. Thank you, Kashmir. What needs to be at the top of that?
Date.
Date. I like how Kashmir is putting final reflection as her title on there. So you've already started using your resources, right, to help you in your I can statement. So when you start to write your reflection, you can look back at that and use those and put them in your reflection, right? Because you've already started your reflecting, right? Okay, so start here. Title, date. Oh, I see Javon has already said in the Fusion Digital lesson as his first part to his reflection. And Mia's looking back in her Slag to see all those notes she took. Marion using his textbook to help him remember. Why don't you put it up here, okay? So you're starting with... Oh, you're going to describe a food chain? And you're going to use that to help you guide your reflection? That's really smart, Zaire. That was a big part of that.